Now, before I start, there's a few things I need to address. Yes, Zack Snyder's Justice League is so much better than Justice League. Yes, I am fully aware of the shit that Joss Whedon pulled behind the scenes of the production, and yes, Ezra Miller is a piece of shit. However, just because a theatrical release isn't as good as the director's cut of the movie, that doesn't mean that there were some elements that were reshot or redone that did improve the experience of the movie. And that's what I want to talk about today. Keep in mind, these are not big bits, these are just the little moments in the film that would have added something to the movie. So let's get into this. This is the top 5 things that Joss Whedon filmed that would have been good to include in Zack Snyder's Justice League. Number 5. The Flash doubting himself. In Justice League, before they have their first fight with Steppenwolf, there is a moment where the Flash starts panicking about what they're about to do and doubts his involvement in the team.
Right, okay, yeah, here's the thing. See, I'm afraid of bugs and, guns and obnoxiously tall people and murder, and I can't be here.
To where Batman gives him some good advice.
Save one.
What?
Save one person.
Which one?
Don't talk, don't fight. Get in, get one out.
And then?
You'll know.
This is a really good superhero moment, but in Zack Snyder's Justice League, we only really get this.
Okay, I'm guessing that's the bad guy.
Good guess.
Oh, I'm really missing Superman right now.
The reason I've selected this specific scene is because at the end of Zack Snyder's Justice League, Barry reverses time to save the world. In conclusion, without Flash, the world would have been destroyed. So how powerful would it be if he starts off by being the one to doubt himself to be the one to save the world in the end? Number 4. Showing off more of the power of a Green Lantern. In both versions, when we have the flashback of the past invasion, we get a random Green Lantern helping to fight before he dies. The only difference is that in Justice League, we have the ring turn into a fist as well as a hammer, showing off a bit of the power of the Green Lantern. But in Zack Snyder's Justice League, we just get a green beam. This is just underwhelming, especially if you know anything about the power of the Green Lantern. Green Lanterns can create anything just by a thought, and having your first introduction to a Green Lantern just using his ring to shoot a beam out just isn't very exciting and doesn't really show how powerful a Green Lantern can be. Maybe there was going to be something like this, because we do know that Zack Snyder did film something with Jon Stewart with actor Wayne T. Carr playing the title character. May have shown more of the Green Lantern's power, but from what was shown in the final release, we could have had a lot more. Number 3. Victor finding out that Batman is looking for him. In Justice League, we have a scene of Cyborg hearing Alfred saying his name, and finding out Batman and Wonder Woman's real identities and that they are looking for him. This eventually leads up to that meeting between Cyborg and Wonder Woman. In Zack Snyder's Justice League, this bit is completely cut out, and we never see how Cyborg finds out that Batman is looking for him. Now, this doesn't ruin the meeting or ruin anyone's character development, but this is important information that leads up to the team. Especially when before this meeting, Cyborg doesn't have any interactions with any of the other members of the team. Some things like this need to be shown. Number 2. Victor talking to Diana before they meet. In Justice League, we see Cyborg hacking into the Batcomputer and sending a message to Wonder Woman, making her aware that he knows who she is and that he knows the identity of the Batman.
You know who we are. Are you Victor Stone?
Communicating with her and asking why he should trust her.
I need to speak to you. If I was going to attack you, I would have done it by the lake.
This scene shows that there is some character growth within him. Cyborg doesn't trust Wonder Woman, nor does he know her. So it makes sense for him to be a bit paranoid or concerned about some total stranger trying to find him. In Zack Snyder's Justice League, we just see Cyborg arranging a meeting place for him and Wonder Woman to talk. Now we do have a conversation with Cyborg asking Wonder Woman why she is looking for him, but that's not until he arranges the meeting place.
Why are you looking for me, Diana?
You know who I am.
I know more than you can possibly imagine.
Like, dude, you don't know this woman. How do you know she won't just murder you on the spot? Having Cyborg have a bit of concerns about meeting up with Wonder Woman does make the scene better in my opinion. It makes Cyborg more human that he has these concerns. He's worried about meeting up with a total stranger. So when Wonder Woman convinces him that she won't hurt him, that's the moment Cyborg arranges the meeting. I think we need a moment like that in Zack Snyder's Justice League. Number 1. Showing Steppenwolf's backstory. Now, I want to make it perfectly clear. Yes, it does make more sense to have Darkseid be the main villain in the backstory. Yes, Steppenwolf's design and his character is 10 times better than anything we got in Justice League. But, I will say this. Steppenwolf is supposed to be the main villain of this movie, not Darkseid just yet. So even though it does make more sense for Darkseid to be there and be the one to lead the battle, I will say in Justice League, it does at least show why Steppenwolf would want to come back to Earth. To finish what he started, to collect the Mother Box and form the Unity. But in Zack Snyder's Justice League, all we get is this line.
You betrayed him. Your own family.
I saw my mistake. I slaughtered those who sought his throne.
Now, it doesn't ruin the movie by not showing the backstory, but it does break one of the most important rules of filmmaking. Show, don't tell. We see his backstory, we see why he would want to come back to Earth, we know what his motivations of a villain is, but we don't get that in Zack Snyder's Justice League. We just get, you betrayed him, now go and do your job. A good villain is someone who the audience can sympathise with. A villain who you can understand the motives and their reasoning. But it's the actions that make them a villain. And this is what we don't get with Steppenwolf in Zack Snyder's Justice League. I'm not claiming that Justice League has these elements that make him a sympathetic villain, but we at least understand why he's coming back to Earth and why he wants to destroy it. Now, like I said before, I think Zack Snyder's Justice League is the better movie out of the two. But just because something is better, that doesn't mean that there could be improvements. This was just to show that reshoots are an important part of filmmaking. And while I understand why Zack Snyder didn't want to use anything that Joss Whedon shot, I do think there are some things that are important to have in the final cut. Maybe a talented fan can re-edit the movie and add these parts into it. Maybe a fan already has, or hell, maybe I'll do it, I don't know. Anyway, what scenes would you include in Zack Snyder's Justice League? Comment down below, please subscribe to the channel for more videos, and if you made it this far into the video, I thank you for watching, and make sure you keep yourself safe.